Come to Helmuth Ford, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Hi, this is Stacy from Shuttler Insurance Services. Come see me on the east side of the square in Sigourney for all your insurance needs.
Experience Oskaloosa presents Booze and Brews Friday, October 24th from 4 to 7:30 p.m. at various locations in Oskaloosa. It's a shopping event for adults 21 plus. Drinks, snacks, and deals at participating stores. There will be prizes, a costume contest, and tram rides available. And music by Jake Beatty at Full Bloom Brew House. For complete info and a list of participating stores, visit Experience Oskaloosa on Facebook.
Delta Fire and Rescue presents their annual haunted house every Friday and Saturday in October. The haunted house is located at the Delta, Iowa Fire Station, 103 North 2nd Street in Delta. Doors open from 8 p.m. to midnight. Tickets are $15. Food and drinks are available to purchase. It's the Delta Fire and Rescue Haunted House. Come and be scared, if you dare.
Brittany's Bargains is a local consignment shop at 105 East Market Street, Suite 1 in New Sharon. Hours are Tuesday 4 to 7, Wednesday and Thursday 10 to 7, Friday 10 to 4, and Saturday 10 to 2. Brittany's Bargains has quality name brand children's, women's, men's clothing and shoes, as well as home decor. You can find more information on the Brittany's Bargains Facebook page. That's Brittany's Bargains in New Sharon.
Commotion, a tribute to the music of Creedence Clearwater Revival, is coming back to the Watch Here Opera House in Watch Here, Iowa this Saturday at 7 p.m. Tickets are $35 for adults and $17.50 for 18 and under. Purchase in advance at watchhereoperahouse.org or buy your tickets at the door. It's the band Commotion this Saturday night at 7 at the Watch Here Opera House.
The City of Sigourney will be accepting applications for the removal of snow from various locations in the city. All applications must be received by 4 p.m. on Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025, at the City Clerk's Office, 100 North Main Street in Sigourney, Iowa. The snow and ice must be removed in a timely manner according to the City Code of Ordinances. This is a seasonal position, paying $210 per occurrence. All equipment will be provided by the City of Sigourney. This seasonal position will run from November 6, 2025 through April 8, 2026. City of Sigourney is an equal opportunity employer. Steve Shuttler Media once again proudly presents Pekin High School football live video streams each Friday night this fall, with home and away games and the playoffs. Tune in Friday nights for Pekin High School football right here on Steve Shuttler Media, Facebook, and YouTube. Welcome in. It's time for the Tuesday night tune-up here on Steve Shuttler Media, Facebook, and YouTube, and on Skunk River Radio. We are live from the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch, our host venue and lead sponsor. We thank all of our sponsors, including Sinclair Napa, Skunk River Radio, Copeland Auto Body, Nutrien Ag Solutions in Keswick, James Family Greenhouse, Sigourney Body Shop, and Sigourney Motors. Let's take it to Safe, who is standing by this evening with a special guest. Safe, take it away.
Welcome back, race fans, to TNT, the Tuesday Night Tune-Up, and we are so glad you can join us here from the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch, and we are so excited that tonight is Kids Night as well at the Oski Pizza Ranch, so make sure you bring the family out. Kids 12 and under can eat for free, so again, we want to thank Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch for hosting us each and every week, and with me tonight, he hails from Oskaloosa, Iowa. He is a firefighter, EMT. He was a redneck rally racer even. We have Dustin Hook with us tonight. Dustin, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to call you one of my close friends. We have been all over the Midwest race chasing together, and it's been a lot of fun, so now we get to talk about it.
Yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun, especially the hotels that you find for us.
I find some great hotels. If I was going to be a travel agent, I think I would be under in about 2 months.
Probably.
maybe less. So, no, again, we want to thank you all for joining us from the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch, our host venue. And make sure, again, on Tuesday nights, kids 12 and under eat for free for their kids' nights. Thursday nights are their wing nights, of course. All you can eat wings on the buffet. And what a delicious buffet that turns into. Are you a big chicken wing fan?
I love chicken wings.
You have to come here on a Thursday night, then. They are so good.
Yeah, no, I love Pizza Ranch chicken. Their chicken thighs are to die for. And, yeah, if your kids are anything like mine, I mean, that kid's night, that's a heck of a deal. So.
It is. And they have their $9.99 pizza in the park, a large topping pizza for $9.99. You have to call in or carry that out only. It is not on their website, but you can get a $9.99 pizza. That's a lot of pizza for under $10. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, shoot, you can't get a cardboard pizza for that price hardly anymore. So.
No, that's true. That is true. So, again, we want to thank the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch for being our host venue, and we want to thank all of our other wonderful sponsors as well. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and we will get into talking about some racing action here in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
When you need a break, Pizza Ranch is ready. Rough day or good day, sometimes you just need a buffet. And we've got all your favorites always ready to serve. Come to the place that puts a smile on your face. Make it a buffet day at Pizza Ranch.
Got a problem under the hood? At Sinclair Napa, we're here to help. No matter if you're tuning up the family car, gearing up your heavy-duty truck, or maintaining your boat, we have the know-how you need to keep your ride running strong. Whether it's top-notch parts, expert advice, or unbeatable customer service, Sinclair Napa is your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs. Because at Sinclair Napa, we don't just sell parts, we're here to help you get the job done. Stop by today in Sigourney, Montezuma, Williamsburg, Centerville, or Ottumwa, or visit us at sinclairnapa.com. Skunk River Radio, country music from 1990 through 2010 with some Iowa country music sprinkled in. Listen at skunkriverradio.com, download the app, listen on Alexa by saying, Alexa, play Skunk River Radio on TuneIn. You can listen to me, Steve Shetler, each weekday morning from 6 a.m. to noon, and listen to The Haze from noon to 6 p.m. Skunk River Radio, online radio for country music from 1990 to 2010. At Copeland Auto Body, we strive to be the area's consistent provider of advanced collision repair. We want all of our customers to have a stress-free experience when they bring their car to Copeland Auto Body. Give them a call at 641-653-2140. Find them online at CopelandAutoBody.com. Copeland Auto Body, located in Hedrick, Copeland Collision Center in Oskaloosa, and Copeland Towing and Recovery in Sigourney. For auto body and towing for Hedrick, Oskaloosa, and Sigourney, see Copeland Auto Body. And we're back here at the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch for the Tuesday night tune-up. Again, we thank all of our sponsors, the Pizza Ranch, Sinclair Napa, Skunk River Radio, Copeland Auto Body, Nutrien Ag Solutions in Keswick, James Family Greenhouse, Sigourney Body Shop, and Sigourney Motors. Let's go back to Safe and Dustin on this Tuesday night. Guys.
All right, welcome back, race fans, to TNT, the Tuesday night tune-up. And it is time to talk about results and the happenings that are going on in the racing world, Dustin. So over the last weekend, we had the Fall Challenge at the Southern Iowa Speedway, and we had some great racing with nearly 100 cars on Friday night and 84 on the second night of the Fall Challenges here at the Southern Iowa Speedway.
Yeah, that's awesome to see. It's like having Oskaloosa back in its heyday.
Yeah,
back in the 90s.
Pretty close. You had a lot of full fields. Friday night, they had B-main and stock cars. They had 30 stock cars, so really good to see. I think, the highlights were we saw Ron Verbeek, Brad Pinkerton, and we saw Brian Sterling all come back out in the stock car class. So
yeah, how about
kind
that?
of a throwback to like the very early 2000s racing at the Southern Iowa Speedway.
Yeah, back when I was my kids' age, we'd run around the backyard, we'd race around, we'd pretend to be the Brad Pinkertons and the Brian Sterlings, and then life happens, and I get it, my two kids, and you get busy with other commitments, and now to see those guys getting back into it, man, it brings back some memories.
Yeah, it was really good to see. They were all in very good equipment. with Brad driving Mike Van Utrick's stock car, which was formerly owned by Caden Carter, or not Caden Carter, by Carter Vandenberg. And, you know, it was good to see Ron in one of the Vanderbilt cars owned by the DeYoung family, and Brian Sterling having his own car that was bought from Corey Vanderwilt. And, you know, we saw some other people come back and race at Oski as well. Pat Rachel's made the trip out from North Carolina, so a good story there with Pat coming out and racing.
Always fun to see him come back and race. And,
it is.
And compete with the locals.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, great fields both nights, a lot of really hard racing, you know, with Caden Carter picking up a win in the stock cars. And you saw, you know, Ron Verbeek have, you know, a top 10 finish the first night, had some bad luck in the Saturday night stock car race, but really good racing. And then I think one of the big headlines, even bigger than anything, was on Friday night, there was a football game played over in Sigourney, Iowa, where Sigourney won 44-14, and Braden Wood got into his pickup truck, drove immediately from the football game in Sigourney, had to start 22nd in the hobby stock feature, and worked his way up to second place.
I tell you what
a story.
That kid seems like he's a chip off the old block. You know, his dad, obviously, you know, Nathan, incredible, you know, local race car driver. I think he won a national championship in the hobby stocks too, did he not?
Yes, he did.
So, yeah, seeing Braden get in there and kind of put a whooping to him, it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Braden is a very talented driver, a chip off of his dad, like you said, and so a very bright future for that young man. And, you know, for me, it's that is a crazy night to go play 4 quarters of football, which is not easy to do, even at the high school level, and the level that Sigourney seems to compete, which I am not necessarily I don't know anyone really that goes to Sigourney or anything. I just know they have a very tough football team, and they have a very tough regiment that they keep. So to go play 4 quarters of that kind of football, then to get back into the mental state of racing and come down and then do that well in a hobby stock is incredible.
I tell you what, you know, people say racing's not a sport. You know, I definitely beg to differ on that because, you know, I've never run a stock car modified or anything like that, but I've been in a hobby stock. I've raced enduros, and I can tell you after running, you know, 30 or so hard laps like they run, you are wore out. And I can't imagine doing that after playing an entire football game. So good on you, Braden. Good job, man.
Yeah, it was awesome to see. So again, very good racing at the Southern Iowa Speedway. I know they have some big news they haven't announced yet. I do know what it is, but we cannot say so yet at this time. But there is a very, very bright future for the Southern Iowa Speedway, and next year is going to be a very big year. I'm very excited for the news to get released so then we can talk about what's happening there. But now let's switch over and talk about some sprint car racing, which always seems to be right now, especially this time, kind of a silly season, as we call it. But we are starting to see like guys like Anthony Macri who have been injured coming back, and not only did Anthony Macri come back, he picked up a win after being out for 3 weeks.
Again, you know, that's got to be tough. You know, you get unconditioned for 3 weeks, come back from an injury, and then you come back and win. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. A great pickup by the Concrete Kid, and you know, the points shake down as we reach the end of the season isn't necessarily quite, I think, what people were expecting. How it's always gone in history has been during the second half of the season is really where the 41 JJR team really seems to come into play, especially after Knoxville Nationals, and we're not just quite seeing the second half Carson Macedo I think we're used to seeing right now. So David Gravel is still the points leader, but very close to him and closing that gap is Buddy Kofoid.
Yeah, we got Buddy Kofoid, and then
is doing great.
He's doing awesome.
And then you have Carson back into third now. So it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. I mean, really, all it takes is one.
Oh yeah, if you get
bad night for Gravel, and
Gravel has one bad night, one slip up, parts failure, you name it, gets caught up in anybody else's mess.
Yeah.
And if Kofoid or Macedo, end up having a good run that night, it's a whole new ball game.
Yeah, Kofoid can really close the gap. I think Carson's too far back at this point with 6 races left, but Kofoid does have a chance to really get close up there. So they do have some upcoming races here. We see them in their kind of the last part of their kind of eastern run there, and they kind of work back this way, and then they swing back to North Carolina. So what races do they have coming up here?
We got Lincoln Park Speedway on Friday, and then LaSalle Speedway in LaSalle, Illinois, coming up on Saturday.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah, and then Angel Park Speedway, Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Hopefully,
So coming back to the Midwest here.
we're getting into that late time of the year. Hopefully they don't get that snow up there in Wisconsin.
It could happen.
Could happen.
Wisconsin. So, yeah, a lot of good racing left for the Outlaws. Just not a lot of racing left for them. It's crazy that we're in that middle of October, and so it's going to be interesting to see. I think
this year's just flown by.
Kofoid has a chance. A lot of these are smaller tracks, which is what Buddy is really good at, but also David is also very good on the small tracks.
Absolutely.
And so is Macedo. I mean, he comes from California, which is, primarily what they have out there. So it's going to be interesting to see. So now let's talk about some high-limit racing. They have had some really good racing coming up as well. They had their Heartland of America showdown over at Lakeside Speedway in Kansas.
Yeah,
and
such a fun racetrack down there. If you
That is
haven't
a
been down to
fun-
Lakeside Speedway in Kansas City, it's a blast.
Yeah, it's a great facility. They have a lot of really good racing down there.
Yeah.
And Brent Marks picks up another win in the all-yellow car, so good job to Brent. That is he's not had the year that he's wanted by far, but we see these sprinklings of, one of our King Royal winners, one of the Kings, and also a guy that has won at Knoxville in some bigger races here as well. So
He's having a pretty good year. I mean, 7th win of the year. He's actually 5th all time in the high limit series. And, we got Rico, Brad Sweet, Corey Day, Kyle Larson, and now you got Brent Marks. That's some pretty darn good company.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great podium up there. You had Brent and then Aaron Reitzel and Brad Sweet. So, 3 of the top points guys with the high limit series all right there together. And then the second night, if I remember correctly, Brad Sweet ended up winning, which broke a really long win streak for him, which is...
Yeah, that's kind of unheard of for Brad Sweet to go more than, maybe 2 or 3 nights without a win. But, yeah, this time he went 28 races
I think
without a win.
he has a lot on his plate as well. And as much as I think people were thinking that he could handle all of this and still do regular Brad Sweet stuff, you can see that being the opposite, I think, of what everyone thought, and I think even what Brad and even, Casey Kane were expecting.
You're saying he's human.
He is human.
Okay.
He's had a lot on his plate. Trying to run what arguably now is going to be one of the greatest traveling sprint car series known. And then all the marketing stuff, the meetings, the plannings, the talking to sponsors, the dealing with drivers and everything else. I mean, there is a lot that goes on for Brad Sweet in a week. And for him to still be up there in points and everything else, I mean, it's tough. But then in second place, we saw someone who has had an unbelievable season.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Timms
Yeah.
gets up into second, and then follow that up with Rico Abreu. So
Right, Ryan Timms, Knoxville Nationals champion. Incredible year for him. So
yeah, they call it a Cinderella story, but there's nothing really Cinderella, I would say, about Ryan Timms at this point. I think he's going to become a household name very soon.
Absolutely.
And the cool thing with the high limits is, so they have 3 races left compared to the Outlaws, who have 6. And their points battle is way closer.
Oh,
this
it's
could
tight.
change anytime. You have Brad Sweet, 30 points back, and then Brent Marks, but your leader right now still is Rico. But Rico has had some bad nights. Sweet, with a win, now closes it to a 30-point gap. But then, behind that, 181 back, you have Brent Marks, which is crazy that we have only 3 races left, and their points battle is closer margins than the World of Outlaws. So, I mean, you're starting to see where this tour really shines, and next year is going to be really interesting, I think, to see who ends up going to the High Limit Series.
Yeah, because
and
earlier
who's
this
gonna
year,
stay with the Sprint Car Series.
Yeah, earlier this year, we were all, even late last year, trying to figure out who's going to go where and who they're going to be driving for. And this year, I think it's going to be even more of a mess to figure out who's going to go where and do what.
I think so. Rico signing with Tony Stewart. You will not see a Tony Stewart car at a World of Outlaw event next year, which just baffles my mind because, for ever and ever, a Tony Stewart racing car has had a full-time World Outlaw driver, and now that's not the case. So we are seeing some different things happen, but the franchise tagging is going to be an interesting concept to bring into sprint car racing. I'm excited to see how that goes. It's going to be different for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. So, and there's some other things going on in the sprint car world. Tanner Holmes brought up in a post last week talking about how people had asked him about the radio receiver that they use in the car, and if it is a two-way listening device for the team to talk to him and stuff. And Tanner was able to shed some light, and obviously it's not. It's for track officials and whatnot to communicate with them. But in light of that, Tanner talked about how there are some teams which he has talked to different officials with different groups yet, saying that they have caught some different drivers wearing smartwatches, such as I have a Galaxy Watch, or there's the Apple Watch, wearing those different watches because you can get text notifications to them and text messages. And so it has been a ongoing investigation into teams where the drivers have been wearing smartwatches to communicate with their crew guys.
And that might not seem like a big deal.
That doesn't sound like anything,
but
right?
But it's huge.
It's a really big issue.
If your team can communicate with you, tell you, what lines to run or where your competitors are running,
right?
That's a huge advantage. So,
yeah, it's going to be a really big issue. I don't know what's going to stem of that, but talking about issues, that's definitely I think something that a lot of these sanctioning bodies are going to take a look at now that maybe had been missed before.
I think so, yeah.
But it opens up a really interesting dialogue there of the whole idea of two-way communication with drivers has always been like a thing that could happen in different ways, but the way technology is changing to where people are using a watch, it's wild.
And I'm old school. I don't know how you feel about this, but I don't even like the signalers sitting, on the outside wall, with the late models and whatever.
Oh,
I don't even like that. It should be. I personally, I think it should be just the driver.
How I feel in late model racing about this is I am okay with it in late model racing because their gift to gap is a lot different than in a sprint car. It's a lot different, and obviously if you look out of the right side of a sprint car, you can't see anything.
No, you can't see anything at all.
Except for when the car, sets up in the corner, that wing does kind of move and you do get a better viewing window, but you do have your whole one side open and you do have a pretty good vision in front of you.
Yeah.
In a late model, the way they have built those cars now, it is so narrow all the way around
absolutely.
That, to me, a spotter in late model racing is fine. I don't have a problem with it because of the way those cars are.
No.
So I don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with the idea of, I get wearing a smartwatch. I do it a lot for steps, for other things like that, to show that, whatnot. I can do different things off of it. But in racing, there is a time and a place, and when you're driving, I think that you should just get rid of it. Even if you're not doing it, the idea that you could be is is enough. And now that there's been light being shed on that,
absolutely,
it's definitely a time to.
Yeah, if you get out of the car and you have a smartphone or a smartwatch or any kind of electronic device, in my personal opinion, that should be a DQ.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. So, that's interesting. And then I know the High Limits are getting ready for their Australian tour, and they have said there's going to be 12 to 15 drivers, and the first 10 names have been released. And that's going to be Kyle Larson, Rico Abreu, Brad Sweet, Aaron Reitzel, Jason Whittle, both Carson and Cole Macedo, Brock Zierfoss, Corey Day, and Buddy Kofoid. What interests me about this is it's a High Limit Series deal. Mm-hmm. I understand the World of Outlaws don't travel there, but I think it's interesting that both of the Macedos and Kofoid got invited down there as they are full-time World of Outlaw drivers. So I'm wondering if there's going to be some sweet talking going on, trying to get maybe some more teams over to the High Limit Series next year.
That kind of makes a guy think, doesn't it?
World Racing Group, look out. You're in a lot of trouble. I've said it all year. They're in the hot seat big time. Mm-hmm. And I think the High Limits just keeps applying more pressure constantly. And it's not looking good if you are if you're a World Racing Group. It's not looking promising right now.
Yeah.
So we'll see how all that shakes out. We're going to take a quick commercial break here, and then we are going to come back and talk about some late model racing, some things going on in NASCAR, the worst series out there, and we will be back in just a few minutes.
At Nutrien Ag Solutions, we are dedicated to your success. We partner with growers like you to expand your possibilities with unparalleled offerings. Your unique challenges are met with more customized solutions than anyone else can offer. With you, we're feeding the future together.
Stop by James Family Greenhouse and Produce in Sigourney. They have a variety of hanging baskets, annuals, shrubs, perennials, trees, mulch, and vegetable plants. Plus, you can spruce up your landscape with yard decor or decorate the inside of your home with home decor. James Family Greenhouse is also a great place to stop in for some gift ideas. You gotta stop in and see it all for yourself. James Family Greenhouse at 701 East Jackson in Sigourney. And be sure to follow their page on Facebook. If you've had a run-in with a deer, a fender bender, or any sort of accident with your vehicle, take it to Tony and the guys at Sigourney Body Shop at 210 West Clark Street in Sigourney. They'll get you back on the road in no time. And Tony will help you out with a free estimate. It's service with a smile at Sigourney Body Shop. Give them a call at 641-622-2022 or again, stop in at 210 West Clark Street in Sigourney.
Hi, I'm Krista Sellers, driver of the 7K Figure 8 race truck. I race at local figure 8 tracks across southern Iowa. One of my good sponsors is CJ at Sigourney Motors. Next time you or someone you know is looking for a good used vehicle or in need of some minor repairs, you can contact CJ at Sigourney Motors. Give them a call at 641-224-8056 or stop by 705 East Jackson Street in Sigourney, Iowa. Hope to see you at the races or at CJ's shop.
And we thank all of our sponsors on board for the Tuesday night tune-up here on Steve Shuttler Media. That includes, of course, our headline sponsor and host venue, the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch. We also thank, Sinclair Napa, Skunk River Radio, Copeland Auto Body, Nutrien Ag Solutions in Keswick, James Family Greenhouse, Sigourney Body Shop, and Sigourney Motors. Let's go back to Safe and Dustin on this Tuesday night.
Welcome back, race fans, to TNT, the Tuesday Night Tune-Up, and it's time to talk late model racing.
Finally, some real cars.
Some real cars. It has been great racing this year with both the World Outlaw and the Lucas Oil Late Model Series.
Absolutely.
Both have had some real sluggers, whatever you want to call it, back and forth, rock'em sock'em robots between them. And this guy is starting to come together here in the last half of the season, and that is the Reaper. Ryan Gustin wins $50K at Boot Hill Speedway over again a hard charging Bobby Pierce, and then Dennis Erb Jr. ran out the podium there.
Yeah, that's awesome because Ryan Gustin from Marshalltown. It's great to see some of these semi-local guys really doing well on a national level. Like you were saying, kind of coming on late this year. Him and Todd Cooney got together, and
they're on a roll.
Yeah, they are. That's the 5th win so far this year. So
yeah, and coming up is kind of the end of the year. Again, they have just a handful of races left, and then same with the Lucas Oil Late Model Series. They have the Dirt Track World Championship coming up at Eldora.
Yep.
And again, they've had some good racing. They were at Pittsburgh. Again, over in Pennsylvania was their last race. Devin Moran won the first night, and then Jonathan Davenport won the second.
Imagine that.
Yeah, so they've had some good racing, and then, good points battle too. You have Moran, RTJ, and Davenport all within, literally a few points, 15 points, I think, decides right now between RTJ and Devin Moran for the lead.
Yeah, this is anybody's game. Then coming up to Eldora, place we've been to. That's
Yeah.
an incredible facility. Awesome racing.
One of the best half-mile facilities. Actually, just one of the best dirt track facilities in the country.
Absolutely.
Been lucky to be there.
Next to
a few
Oskaloosa.
times. Yeah. I'd say next to a long list, and yes, Oski is in there. But great facility over there at Eldora, so it'll be a good points battle here to see how it ends up. And, RTJ moves back to Indianola, Iowa area now, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. There were some photos of him in Central Arizona the last couple of weeks, getting test fit into a sprint car and turning some laps. So it's going to be interesting to see the future for RTJ.
Let's face it, though, that you put a motor in a shopping cart and that dude's going to drive it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the best drivers out there right now, and Ryan Gustin, another great driver. And I think that brings up a point of someone that has been talked about a lot, especially since the Knoxville Nationals, the late model Knoxville Nationals, is what's next for Dallin Murdy. I hear a lot of whispers of him going full-time and either probably with the World of Outlaw late models next year to contend for Rookie of the Year, which would be, crazy to see. But Dallin is a very, very good modified and stock car driver, and he has been showing in the Mars series that he is a very good late model driver as well.
Yeah, that kid's got more natural talent in his middle or his pinky finger than I do,
Well, or the middle finger too, right?
No. Well, what I'm saying is he's good.
He is. He's very good. So it'll be interesting to see the future for him. But again, congrats to Ryan Gustin, Iowa native, for picking up a $50,000 payday at Boot Hill. So that's, yeah. I mean, the season's almost over. Not a lot of races left with the we're out late models. And then, the Lucas Oil late model is about to be done here at Eldora. So that kind of brings up some different things going on in the NASCAR world. Yay, everyone's favorite segment. It's NASCAR time. So first news, Justin Haley will be out of Spire Motorsports at the end of this year. What a surprise, as Spire is trying to be inspired and get some new drivers in there. Not sure what's going to happen. I've heard some whispers of a previous World of Outlaw driver who is in between rides right now, maybe going into that car. I can't give a lot more there. And then Corey Day going to be full-time with Hendrick Motorsports in the Xfinity Series next year. So it'll be interesting to see what Jason Myers Racing does next year for High Limits, who they will bring in to fill that void and have a full-time driver next year. So it'll be good to see what happens there. Very excited for Corey. Young man has a very bright future in this sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
Had a good run at Vegas here. And speaking of Vegas, I know you have the results a little bit from the great, wonderful Cup Series at Vegas.
Yeah, so, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on the NASCAR side of it.
Why?
Really, asphalt's for getting to the track, dirt's for racing, right?
That's accurate.
So, Denny Hamlin wins. Not really excited about that. So the points, Coming into next week at Martinsville is going to be their last cutoff race.
Yay, cutoff race.
Yeah, yay.
Yay,
Love it.
playoffs.
So we got Hamlin, Boo, Larson, and Bell, 2 former dirt drivers. And Chase Briscoe, they are your top 4. Below that cutoff, we got Byron, Chase Elliott, Logano, and Blaney. I don't know about you, but I enjoy seeing Logano on the bottom side of this list.
You always do. So, what's crazy to me is, so you have 8 drivers, and 3 of those are all drivers for Hendrick Motorsports.
Yeah, and Hendrick Motorsports has a history at Martinsville of being really, really good. So,
and then you also look at that list, and you have 3, 4, 5 kind of dirt track guys.
Absolutely, yeah.
For sure, Larson, Bell, Briscoe, and then you have Chase Elliott and Blaney as well. Joey's ran some dirt and has been actually pretty good on it. So, I'm not necessarily the biggest Joey Logano fan, but he can drive. He's very smart. He has a lot of talent in a car at times. He also is a little hothead, too.
A little bit.
And as much as everyone doesn't like Denny Hamlin, and I'm not necessarily a huge Denny fan, same way he has a lot of driving. We've seen him do some incredible things. We've seen him do some very humiliating things.
Yeah.
And, but
not,
this is
not
probably,
a Hamlin fan.
And this is probably his last year. If you
think
really
so?
think about it, I think so.
Really?
And then, they're dealing with a bunch of stuff, too, with all the chartering lawsuit and what's going to happen to their team and a lot of other things. So still with all of that going on, to still be in the playoffs, contending, picking up some wins and whatnot, to me is still...
I would almost...
I
would almost say Hamlin, I don't really like, the way he goes about, like, his attitude and stuff like that. But other than that part of it, would you consider him maybe this generation's Mark Martin? Probably one of the best drivers out there that has not won a championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that. And, you look at the other ones on this list, though, that have either been close or have won multiple. And to me, I think the story is William Byron. I mean, the kid came from racing on a computer, on simulated racing, to full-time Cup Series, winning races, winning the Daytona 500, winning a lot of other big races, and is competing for a championship right now. It's quite a story.
Yeah, and he's got a legit chance to...
Yeah, really does.
Make it in the top 4 and have a good run at Phoenix. So.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens at Martinsville. I would say it's one of the better races of the year just because it's so short and it seems like a lot of tempers fly. And that's about it for Martinsville and NASCAR. So we do have some other great racing coming up. We have some 1RC racing coming up this weekend at the barn out at my place with the 1RC. It is our season championship. It's the end to our summer series, which I can't believe is here and gone. And Dustin, you have started getting into the 1RC cars yourself.
And
you decided to go head first.
I did.
I love it.
And I'll fully admit, I used to think that, you race an RC car, you're a dork. Well, no, it is a lot of fun. It's a blast. But it's competitive. The people are great. Wonderful atmosphere, and I've really enjoyed myself. And yeah, it's a little bit of an investment at first, but my second race out, I ended up putting one in Victory Lane. So,
which I still can't believe that happened.
We can finally say, one of the Hook brothers finally put something in Victory Lane.
That's good. I know that's been a challenge.
It has. It has.
So no, it's a lot of fun. We welcome spectators. Come watch, get interested, walk around the pits, talk to different people.
Yeah, come see what it's about. It's very family friendly, kid oriented. You have a concession stand over there.
Do you have a concession stand that we are here in the next very soon future? By the time that the winter series starts up, we will have a nacho machine going.
Yeah. And where else do they race those other than your barn?
They race them here in the mall. And the schedule is out on PCRC Speedway on Facebook, so I highly recommend going over there to find out more. And yeah, I can't believe it's season championship time there at the barn for the summer series already. It's been a fun summer. It's been a crazy summer with it, and we're looking forward to the upcoming winter season, which gets even busier and more chaotic than the summer series does. So
yeah, hoping for many more.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we want to thank all of you for joining us here on TNT, the Tuesday Night Tune-Up. I have been your host, Safe Grafke. That is Dustin Hook. Thanks for giving us some of your time to talk about dirt racing. Again, if you want to go back and rewatch this, it will be on Steve Shetler Media on Facebook. Or if you want to watch at a later time, you can go on to Skunk River Radio and find us there as well. Again, we are live here from the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch until the end of the month of October here, so you have a few more chances to stop in and say hi and listen to us here live from the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch. We will see you all next Tuesday night here at the Oski Pizza Ranch for TNT, the Tuesday Night Tune-Up.
And thanks to the Oski Pizza Ranch for hosting, Sinclair Napa, also Skunk River Radio, Copeland Auto Body, Nutrien Ag Solutions in Keswick, James Family Greenhouse, Sigourney Body Shop, and Sigourney Motors.